Hello, welcome to today's Coffee Talk, where we watch creepy and conspiracy videos while we make funny ad-lib stories. I've got my coffee, let's watch some stuff. Please stick around to the end where I include scraps from my cutting room floor.
Small glimpse of what is beyond the ice walls.
Bunger leans forward in amazement. His eyes have caught a sudden and unbelievable change in scenery. The universal white has turned to chocolate brown, dotted with blue. A cameraman goes into action. 300 square miles of land without snow. Land that might be in New Mexico or Arizona. Pictures alone will prove Bunger has discovered a warm oasis in the shadow of the pole. It is for such supreme moments as this that men brave the hardships of exploration. The astounding, undreamed of fact is that they are over a chain of warm water lakes, whose shores, except for small patches, are free of ice and snow. Commander Bunger circles the largest lake in sight, 5 miles long. He comes in to make a landing. Water temperatures must be recorded. Samples taken. He finds the water fresh, the temperature 38 degrees Fahrenheit. On the shores are vast deposits of coal and of minerals of the utmost importance to civilization. Aside from their headline discovery, Bunger and his men have another good reason.
I'd like to find a longer cut of that to see where exactly it is they were filming. I don't know that they were filming in Antarctica, and it could just all be speculation. Or just pinned as Antarctica because we want to make the narrative that there's land beyond the ice wall. Anyway, on to our ad libs. We are doing the personal ad on madtakes.com. The link is in the description. I skipped Old MacDonald because it only needed 4 words and it was kind of boring. So we're going to go to personal ad. And we needed 2 words. We've got our adjective and a verb ending in ed. The adjective is unbelievable and the verb is dream. He said undreamed of, but I went with dreamed because I'm in control and that's the way it goes. Hey, just want to take a second to thank you so much for stopping by for today's coffee talk. If you're having a good time, maybe you'd consider hitting that subscribe button and coming back tomorrow because I'm making a new video every day. Let's watch some more stuff.
Let's dive into the whirlwind of the Storm Area 51 saga, a moment in history when internet meme met reality. This all started as a joke on Facebook in 2019 with a call to see them aliens. The event, titled Storm Area 51, They Can't Stop All of Us, quickly went viral, amassing millions of interested individuals. The idea, to raid Area 51, the infamous U.S. Air Force Base in Nevada, rumored to be a hotspot for extraterrestrial activity. The military's stern warning and the fear of an actual mass invasion made headlines. But here's the twist. It morphed into a festival in the Nevada desert. Thousands gathered, not to storm, but to celebrate the alien lore with music, costumes, and a collective fascination for the unknown. This quirky, unplanned festival united UFO enthusiasts, conspiracy theorists, and the just plain curious. It turned out to be more of a peaceful assembly rather than a raid. Storm Area 51 might have started as a prank, but it spotlighted the public's enduring fascination with the mysteries of Area 51 and the possible secrets hidden within its heavily guarded fences. No aliens were seen, and the gates remained closed, but the event left us pondering, what if? In the end, Storm Area 51 proved the power of the internet to ignite global curiosity and bring people together for an out-of-this-world experience.
Yeah, they made such a big deal out of it and nobody even showed up. Well, barely anybody showed up compared to who said they were going to go. I don't know that it's proof that they're hiding something there. I mean, they probably are. The government hides all kinds of stuff. They have all kinds of technology for decades before they release it in a dumbed-down version to the public, and that's okay. You know, they need to keep us safe, right? So they got to hide some things. I don't know if it's aliens. Yeah, dude, it's totally aliens. There's aliens there. I believe it. I believe it. We pulled 2 words out of that video. We got a plural noun, which is spacecraft or spacecrafts, depending on what the story needs. And the only liquid mentioned, which was alcohol.
You think we live in a simulation? Well, you're right, and I have proof. I was driving near Area 51, and then something weird happened. Do you see that in the distance? Like, this is crazy. The map is literally loading as I'm driving. I guess Elon Musk was right. If you don't believe, now you should.
This one just makes me feel a little bit sad because it's clearly hot on that road. And what he's seeing is the air distortion because of the heat coming off the road. I didn't pull any words from that because they didn't have what we needed. And that was dumb.
Did the Anunnaki at any point procreate with the Homo sapiens?
Yes, and created what you call the demigods, so to speak, in your legends. After Homo sapiens existed, many of them had different kinds of attributes that were reminiscent of the Anunnaki genetics that had been infused into them. And therefore, later on, in couplings and matings that may have happened, more genetic material from the Anunnaki may have been infused in the offspring, creating what your Bible calls men of old, men of renown, men of special powers, the demigods, so to speak, that still had more of the genetic influence even than the normal Homo sapiens at that time, and had special abilities.
Okay, and that's why that some of us today have greater genetic connections to the Anunnakis than the rest.
Yes.
Okay.
There are certain lineages that do express more of the genetic codes of the Anunnaki than others. Not that everyone doesn't have some, it's just that it's based on your theme of exploration and what it is you need to connect to that can allow you to express more or less of that particular Anunnaki genetic strain.
That falls right in line with the theory that Earth was seeded. It's like aliens came and impregnated the beings that were here, our Homo sapiens, and that's why it goes Homo sapiens. And then there's a dramatic transition into what we are now, Homo erectus. That sounded smart. Yeah, probably not. Okay, so we have a noun and a famous person. I did legends because I wanted a plural noun. And demigod. I know it's not like a famous person, like a movie star or anything like that, but some people would consider a demigod a famous person, and we didn't have very many options inside of that video, so we're doing what we can.
Did you know that each of your dreams could be a glimpse of a parallel life you are leading in another universe? Brace yourself. This will give you shivers. There's a theory suggesting that our dreams aren't merely figments of our imagination, but real glimpses into other dimensions where a version of ourselves is living a slightly or radically different life. Each time you wake up from a dream that felt incredibly real, it might be because it was real, but in a parallel world. The decisions you made in that dream are reflecting choices you've made in another life. It's a concept of the multiverse that broadens the horizons of what we consider our reality. In other words, your dream last night was not just a dream. It was a day in your life in another universe. And every night you get the chance to visit this other you, to explore paths you haven't taken here. It raises a dizzying question. What if the you in that universe is dreaming about your current life right now? It's an endless loop of possibilities and coexisting realities.
That is an interesting theory that your dreams are alternate universes, alternate versions of yourself. It kind of boggles the mind to think about, like I said, in your dreams, is that person dreaming of you, like what I'm doing right now? And why would you want to dream that? That's a terrible dream. Okay, it's not that bad. We got a place, which is universe, and an occupation. There were no occupations mentioned in there, and so my go-to is going to be gastroenterologist, because why not?
Where is everyone? The dark forest might be the answer. The Fermi paradox says, if the probability for life is so high, even using the lowest estimates, why haven't we found anyone in all of this? The dark forest says, oh, they're there, but they're hiding. The dark forest hypothesis was popularized by a book published under the same name in 2008. The idea is that all intelligent life avoids each other in order to prevent mutual destruction. And that hypothesis is a kind of game theory, which is a branch of mathematics that focuses on strategy. This is a game tree. Each point or node is a position in the game, and the lines are the moves. Each node usually has 2 or 3 options. C1 is one civilization and C2 is the other, us for example. No matter how you lay this out, game theory suggests that if alien civilizations do exist, the best course of action for all parties involved is to actively do nothing. As we understand war, that's because 1, resources are limited, and 2, we don't know or understand enough about each other to make make accurate assessments. Both of those factors are major elements of game theory, specifically as they pertain to war. Game theory can get pretty complicated as you add more elements and options, like in this version, which is only one small part of the whole thing, actually. But whichever you choose, no matter how you lay this out, the safest thing for both parties to do is nothing.
And yet here we are, sending transmissions out into space, beaming other information out there, sending out satellites to go beyond our solar system, because us humans, we're all about poking that bear, aren't we? We're going to find out. All right, so I got a nationality, which was alien. Yeah, aliens and nationality. And there were no female celebrities in there, so we're just going to go with Barbara Streisand because we're not having a lot of luck finding a lot of these words. Some of them are very specific. All right, let's keep going.
You already know this, but when I tell you, it's still going to be mind-blowing. You're only seeing 0.0035% of reality. What? Humans can only see visible light, which is a tiny, tiny fraction of the electromagnetic spectrum. Things like ultraviolet, infrared, gamma, microwaves, x-rays, they're all around us, but we can't see it. It's beyond the evolutionary capacity of our eyeballs. There's a whole secret world out there that we're not seeing.
That's a theory I've been toying with a little bit about interdimensional light beings, something like that. They live in the spectrum of light that we can't see because there's a lot of stuff that we can't necessarily see. I'm going to find another video on that. Hang on. Oh, but before we do that, I got a noun, which is light, and a female friend, which they said 0, so I went with my bestie, Michelle, and a plural noun, which is eyeballs. And I'm going to find another video. Hang tight.
What we think reality is not what reality is. Let's take a look. So reality for us humans is usually what we can see, and we refer to this as visible light. Now what you need to know is visible light is less than 1% of all the light frequency that exists on this planet, which means specifically that we can only see 0.0035% of what is happening around us. What? This means then that 99% of what is going on around us is invisible frequency that we cannot see, that is carrying encoded information and energy like radio waves and UV rays. The reality for a snake is infrared radiation. The reality for a bat is the echo of ultrasound. In summary then, your perception is your reality.
That had a little more, but it wasn't as helpful as I thought it would be. We did pull a number out of there, 0.0035. All right. I'm going to look for another one, but here, watch some alien stuff.
WTF is that?
In the backyard. I swear to God, this is not a joke. This is actually, we terrified of it.
So there's 2 people or 2 subjects that are in your backyard?
Correct, and they're very large. 9 feet, 10 foot, I don't know, they look like aliens to us. Big eyes, they have big eyes, okay. like I can't explain it, and big mouth. They're tiny eyes, and they're not human. They're 100% they're not human.
Happened to me. Keep in mind, this is midnight, and I'm fixing a truck in my backyard. At this point, I'm only with my brother, and I hear something fall from the sky. I turn around, the only thing I see is a big light falling from the sky, and moments after, I feel a big impact and a bang, sort of like a big impact fall. So when that happened, the only thing I can see in the backyard is a tall creature, probably around 8-10 feet tall, very thin.
That was a fun alien video. I've never seen that depiction of an alien before. I mean, there's so many of them. The Greys, the reptilians, and my brain stopped, so I'm just going to go with Greys and reptilians. But I've never seen that one. We did pull an adjective out of there. We got large, and that's the last one. So enjoy the rest of these videos. I did find another one on the interdimensional light beings. In fact, it actually specifies interdimensional light beings, and I think it's super cool. So check that out, and I'm going to go ahead and make our ad-lib story.
Interdimensional light parasites part 2.
Higher dimensional biology, transdimensional beings. And what I observe out of this point of view when I look at Morgellon disease, It looks like a higher dimensional being abusing humans to reproduce his own species. And before these pseudomorphic fruiting bodies leave the body, they extract enough biophotons from the forehead to ascend to a parallel dimension. And from then on, they're invisible. But they're still within the body. And this now is pure science. This is what we found in the lab. This is what can be explained with higher dimensional theories. But it also refers to mythology. If you have an invisible creature crawling through your body, trying to access your energetic system, this is very close to what one might call a demon or an archon. And if you look at the descriptions of these archons from 2,500 years ago, the description of the biology is identical with what these Morgellon victim was painting. They're described as spiders with human faces, and there are exactly two different species that are close relatives but different. And it is described that they live as light parasites, and this is basically what the entire black magic tradition is about. Being a black magician means to communicate with those archons and offering them access to your physical light system, feeding them with biophotons, feeding them with life force, and in exchange they offer power over other human beings. This is what black magic rituals are always about. So we're starting to get a picture. And if you look at the political entities who might be responsible to introduce Morgellons into the air, look into the United States, we have
So that takes my theory to a whole other level. I was just thinking there are beings that live in other, fields of light that we can't see. And apparently they are also leeching off of us. So they're parasites. That's a little scarier than I planned on exploring this particular theory. I'm going to keep going because that's cool. I like weird stuff. But that's not fun. That's not fun.
Ronald Reagan told us their plan long ago.
We often forget how much unites all the members of humanity. Perhaps we need some outside universal threat to make us recognize this common bound. I occasionally think how quickly our differences worldwide would vanish if we were facing an alien threat from outside this world. And yet, I ask you, is not an alien force already among us? What could be more alien to the universal aspirations of our peoples than war and the threat of war?
See? I told you so. Ronald Reagan said it. And now, Operation Bluebeam 2024. Let's see what happens. All right, ready for the story? This is personal ad. I guess it's like pina coladas, right? I enjoy long, unbelievable walks on the beach, getting dreamed in the rain, and serendipitous encounters with spacecraft. I really like pina coladas. See, I said it. Mixed with alcohol, and romantic candlelit legends. The burger joint, I guess. I am well read from Dr. Seuss to Demigod. Demigod writes books. I travel frequently, especially to Universe, because that's a good place to travel, when I am not busy with work. I'm a gastroenterologist, go figure. I am looking for forest and beauty in the form of an alien goddess. She should have the physique of Barbara Streisand. Everybody should have the physique of Barbara Streisand. And the light of Michelle. That's right. I would prefer if she knew how to cook, clean, and wash my eyeballs. I don't know if she needs to cook, clean, and wash your eyeballs, or just cook, clean, and wash your eyeballs. Either way, you better know how to cook and clean, huh? I know I'm not very attractive in my picture, but it was taken 0.0035 days ago, and I have since become more large. That was great. That was fun. Okay, that was our personal ad, our wonderful ad lib. Thanks for playing along. I hope you had a great time today, and I hope to see you tomorrow. Stick around for my cutting room floor and have a wonderful day. Without further ado, my cutting room floor. Welcome to Coffee Talk. It just connected. Okay. Hello, 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 hello. I've got my coffee. I don't have my coffee. There. Now I've got my coffee. Stupid. Yeah. No. We're not smart enough to do nothing. Like how aliens came down. They didn't come down. I don't know that. I don't know. Because we're not getting a lot of luck. Interdimensional light beings. The interdimensional light beings. Interdimensional light beings. That sounds fake. Yeah, all of that stuff. Okay, stop.